Warning, spoilies ahead.
I thought, why not be everybody's favorite character from Kiss, Peter
Well,
Criss.
that's obviously Peter Kiss.
Yeah, Peter Kiss. That's how they named the band.
Hi, welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan, also known as Michael Myers.
And I'm Dane, also known as Peter Criss.
Happy Halloween, everybody! And with the spirit of the season, not the Christmas season or the Halloween season, but the season of the show, the theme of the series of this season, second chances.
Second chances.
What did we give? What did you give a second chance? I hadn't seen this before, so.
And this is my second chance to A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 version. The director was Samuel Bayer. Not getting a writer over here. It's adapted from the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven stuff. My goodness.
By goodness, by gracious,
by
great balls of fire.
This one, though, I guess quick synopsis, it's somewhat the same without getting too far into it. There's I don't know. See, I guess in the first, the originals that, I don't know. I mean, do you want to just start getting into this one?
Yeah,
Okay, it's...
so if you don't know Nightmare on Elm Street, what's wrong with you? It's a guy that hunts kids in their dreams, but it's like a revenge thing. Because in the first one, it's a revenge against the parents because he's like, I'm gonna get your kids.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's a revenge on the kids because they got him killed, which is, I guess, a twist on it. Maybe I'm just weird, but I don't remember the pedophile thing.
No, and
really
I don't
heavy on the original. Maybe it was they're trying to update it, make it.
See, and that's what because I kept thinking about the original, and I'm like, I don't remember, and I can't, and I still feel like he was just some supernatural weird creep dude that was.
Well, they do kill him. The parents burn him alive.
Yeah,
but I can't remember what reason.
Yeah, I can't remember why, and I don't think he was
Wasn't he just a killer?
That's what I thought. He was just some killer. And he's
I'll
get my revenge. Yeah, and I'll get my revenge, and I'll get them where you can't protect them in their dreams.
I'll get your kids because you killed me. It was something like that.
Yeah, it was his revenge, and not his revenge because of revenge. I guess,
and it's not
because that's what it is.
It's Freddy's. It's not Freddy's revenge because that was the second one. So it's a different kind of Freddy's revenge.
Well, I mean, this is a new universe, I guess.
Yeah, a new.
Because I mean,
a new Freddyverse.
It doesn't feel like a reboot necessarily.
No, it's
its own
classic
thing.
remake. Yeah, it tried to It was it was doing what an old one, but also trying to make something new at the same time.
Yeah,
and this happens all the time. There's remakes of shit all the time. Reimaginings, reimaginings, whatever you want to call it. It happens all the time. Very rarely are they as good or better than the original. But most of the time when they're better, it's because it's based off a book.
Yeah.
Let's jump in it. Okay. First thing, opening credits, right? There's the chalk drawn of the people in the movie's names, but then they put text over that.
Yeah, and I'm
I didn't like that. I could read it. It was cooler until you ruined it with putting actual text over
when I was watching it, I kind of thought is there a subtitle to this or
yeah, that's I did.
Did I accidentally turn on I'm because I can read that perfectly fine.
Yeah, and it's not it's I didn't understand that. It took something cool idea and it was just let's put the actual text over.
What it felt was a last minute thing. I don't know if people are gonna be able to read that.
I don't know. People are pretty dumb. They don't know
you better put some stuff over the top of that and make sure we know who these people are.
Right on it, sir.
And they're very memorable.
Oh yeah. And it starts in the diner. You got the Ryan Phillippe Costco version Ryan Phillippe Who hasn't slept in days?
Days.
Days, folks. Which also looks like the Pop's Diner from Riverdale, which Riverdale's a shitty show. Sorry for Riverdale fans out there. But
Thank
it
you.
looks
Thank
like the
you. I
same.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I've seen bits of it. I've tried it. No,
It's trash.
it
Riverdale's
is
trash. People.
stupid. Sorry.
Side note though, like honestly, Sabrina is actually pretty cool.
That one I haven't seen, and I've heard a lot of cool stuff about that one.
Sabrina's really cool because it's got the devil and other shit in it. So the guy quickly dreams, and then the girl just walks by with like the coffee.
Mhm.
And in this scenario, and in every fucking dream sequence in any movie, the person gets up and starts following them.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Me neither. Like,
Ever.
why are
I'd be
you
like,
going
"Oh."
after them? Why? What's the point of that?
Every time, ma'am, excuse me, let me follow you. What's going on?
And then you proceed to follow, see creepy shit, and then go deeper into the creepy shit.
Yeah, let me go into this kitchen I'm not allowed into. Oh, there's like full pigs' feet and faces. Like I'll keep going.
I don't work here. I'll go back here.
Yep.
You know.
And you see a little glimpse of Freddy. He likes to do that like a lot
Yeah.
in this one. The very Edwards Scissorhands of him. You know?
Yeah.
Did you also notice that like a lot of the people's mouths in this movie are open all the time?
Yes. I chucked it up as them like not getting any sleep. And I'm like, would I sit like that?
Yeah.
Might have been like
Because like Quentin like that was the whole movie. You got the Ryan Phillippe guy at the beginning too, so, and then the girl talking to him the whole time. Just how we looked in 2010. We wore shitty beanies, scarves, and we were always doing this.
I think that's what some people saw in 2010.
Yeah, not everybody.
Was that? Were we doing that 10 years ago?
I'd like to say we weren't, but I bet if you find some footage of us, we're wearing beanies and we're just like
sitting there with our mouths open.
I haven't slept in days.
You guys want to go to the cafe and have some coffee?
Coffee at the cafe.
And and I do remember so much 2010's cafe.
Oh, dude, we had so many diner experiences, and it was just ridiculous.
Oh, we just had a whole summer of diners. We
Hanging
didn't.
up
We
the diners,
we
'cause
didn't. We didn't breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Diner.
Yep.
We didn't do anything but eat at diners.
I mean, and there's always so many diners readily available.
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
Especially
all the time.
old 50s styles diners everywhere.
I mean, we had to travel. We did some traveling. Did a U.S. diner crawl?
Guy Fieri would be impressed.
Yeah.
The cool thing was like the blonde girl talking to the Ryan Phillippe guy was like believing him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool because it was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, oh, why haven't you slept? And then like,
yeah,
he has that dream. Freddy makes him like cut his own throat, which that was a cool.
That was a sick ass cool like scene, and I thought, oh, maybe there are more practical effects in this than I remember.
That was a sick kill.
It was
like,
cool.
Oh, real slow.
Yeah,
real slow all the way through.
It was badass.
And then like a lot of people show up for his funeral. Like a lot of classmates. Like I don't mean to sound mean. Maybe I'm sounding realistic, but like in high school, had like I died, I'm pretty sure not everybody in my class would have come to my funeral.
Right.
Unless it's just a way to get out of school. But I'm like, there's a lot of people at this kid's funeral.
We're kids that dicks, like much of dicks, like at school.
Well,
where they're like,
it's a free way to get out of school. Let's go to Blake's funeral, dude.
You know, I don't have to
like
learn today.
Yeah,
you didn't
I
even
didn't
know
like
him.
the guy.
Go to whose
Hey,
funeral?
Fucking let's play hooky. Go to a funeral, dude.
And then they just don't go to the funeral.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
And so like, yeah, she has a dream of that girl with the Freddy claws in her dress, and then he like grabs her ankle. And what I like is like she instantly believes what's going on. She instantly believed the Ryan Phillippe guy, and she's like, something is going on. And then her ex-boyfriend's like, it's nothing, you're just tired. Dude, he had like the greasy like dreadlock, like
he was being
like,
such a turd.
not dreadlock, but it's like
this
the little
greasy
like,
hair
in his face.
Just, yeah.
Like, you just so know, you barely knew him. Oh, I just know from sleeping. Oh, you need to calm down. Like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, even though like all these other people are saying the same thing. I love that.
And she's like,
you have no idea what I've seen. like you didn't see anything. I like how
you have no idea what I've seen.
Like our mom's like, let's
Yeah.
just get you home.
Let's get you out of here.
Like your ever super suspicious parents through the entire fucking thing,
Yeah. I didn't see them hiding anything at all.
right?
But like, I really like that blonde girl because she's like hit the ground running, investigating on all this shit.
Yeah.
Because then she saw that picture of the funeral. Was like, why am I in this picture of him as a little kid? I met him in middle school.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, did you though? Maybe you didn't. So they all go to like the same like
Preschool?
hypnotherapy thing after all that stuff
They
happened, or
must have,
what?
like, because yeah, that's something I really wish they would have talked about. Like, spoiler alert, people. I mean, without blatantly saying what it was, but like, how do they all not remember it? Like, did they all repress it? Because like, I was really hoping for a scene when the mom's telling them later on that like they're in a hypnotherapy room and there's like just
Yeah.
a bunch of kids of like, you've never met this person until you're like 8 years old or whatever. You were never diddled as a child.
Right?
You never went into a deep, gross cave with a man named Freddy. Like, how did they all forget about it?
I know. Like, how do you reprogram that many kids, and it's like they all start snapping back into it? Like, well, no, that's not, no, because like she finds
There's
that
the
one
other people
kid.
that find it. Yeah, he's got like that vlog going on and
Mhm.
stuff. So it's like there wasn't a good shelf life on that hypnotherapy. It kind of wears off after like 10 years.
Apparently,
That's why it's like getting your booster shots for like tetanus and your rabies. You know, you got to keep getting re-hypnotized
like every
so you
5
can
years, every couple
you can
years.
repress every 10 years so you can repress those diddle memories.
Yeah, because you don't want to be remembering that because the guy comes back and tries to kill you. Yeah, I'd want to repress those too.
Yeah, I think so.
Like if it meant survival, then yeah.
Do it. Wipe this clean.
Yeah, it never happened. I can deal with that. Whatever. If that's dealing with it in a sense, then yes.
Count me in. The thing that like I know it's ridiculous looking in real life, but watching someone fall asleep in a movie, it just looks fake.
I know.
Like I know that's how like people fall asleep. You like, but like they always do like the.
Yeah, they always have to do they always have to ham it up first.
Like the fighting it.
Oh, I don't want to go to.
Yeah, it's never just like.
Because I mean,
but
that's
even
how
like doing that looks fake because you know it's like.
Well, there's been plenty of
capturing...
times where I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to fall asleep. And I just close my eyes and I'm laying there. And before I know it, it's morning now.
But something about like people falling asleep in movies and TV, it's always like, I know it's fake, but my brain's like, this is really fake.
How do you not make falling asleep look fake? Not look fake? Dylan, wake up, man.
See, you thought I was asleep the whole time.
I did.
Because I know it's such a simple movement of just closing your eyelids.
Yeah.
But like it's just weird. It's hard to think about because like you don't see yourself falling asleep. So like you're like, that's not how it looks. What's going on? Like, I don't know. I had a weird problem this whole movie of like, dude, these people falling asleep sure do look weird. Wait a minute. That's how it looks when I fall asleep.
Did you guys like stop falling asleep? Are they supposed to be in like high school? Because all of them look like they're in their 30s.
They all look 40, dude. They all look 30 or 40, and it's like
we need to start. I could believe it if they were in college.
Yeah,
like if they made it. If they made it all the way to college, that would have probably might have been a little bit cooler. So then they'd have to go back and talk to their parents. I don't know.
They don't live there anymore. Like, I think it worked in the first one because like they did look a little more like teenagers, probably because they were closer to.
Yeah.
I know it's probably like legally easier and cheaper to like hire adults because I know for like kids there's like filming laws and stuff like that. You can't have them all day, but at least hire like 18-year-olds because like these people look like they're 30.
Yeah,
it's like high school, you know.
None of them looked like they were in high school.
So was it Lori? Well, no, Lori's from Halloween, right?
Yeah,
Cindy. Is it Cindy? No, Cindy.
No, that's from Scream.
Scream. What the fuck is her name? Nancy. Okay. Okay. Too many final girls to remember. When she's falling asleep, it's the CGI effects versus practical effects. Like when you're using CGI when you don't need to, because it was so much cooler in the original one. Like Freddy was like coming out of the wall, and it was just his face. And like all you have to do is like get a tight sheet with that print on it and push your face through it.
Yes.
But they went over the top with the CG with like him fully like coming out and stuff.
Yeah, and like doing the claw, and it was just like, dude, you could have done that.
It
and
takes
just had
you
him
out
like
of
rip
that.
through it, you know?
Yeah, and then you just wake up because like I know we're both this way. We're both firm believers in practical effects. Like, do CG when you can't do practical, you know?
Yeah.
And but
Well, I
like,
mean, like obviously for certain things you just cannot. Like
yeah,
you're not gonna make a
and that's
super giant monster. It's just not gonna
yeah. So
happen.
do that. But like, if you have a something like that, go fucking practical. Like, there's a reason that the classics look good because it was practical. They
Did
put
his
love. Like, I
face
get
like
it.
bother you the entire fucking movie? Because it
It
did to
was
me.
this part because it was like this was too wide,
It was his
and so
mouth
like
too.
a
Like it didn't line up with what he was saying, and it
yeah.
just I
Like,
don't
I
know.
get they probably made him look more like an actual like burn victim, you know. But I think it's hard because we've always had this picture of Freddy in our minds forever. He's been in the
But
fucking
it looked more. It looked CG, and I don't know.
I know it's not. It's just it was a weird look. It's hard because it's like it's something we know for so long. You're trying to change it up, and your brain's like,
Like I don't
no,
feel
that's not
like I
right.
feel like it could have been better a little bit. Like I don't know in what way. Like I don't know how I would make Freddy look, but
Without
also
making him
the whole
Freddy from
like
the original.
well that and the whole like being the like pedophile like
Yeah,
aspect of it, you
really
know.
cranking it up a notch with the story. You know, like
Yeah, I'm just like because there are a few parts I'm just like, "Huh." Like, oh why I'm done watching this.
the other girl, the blonde girl's mom. She was like,
Yeah,
"Why am I in this picture with him? I thought we met in the when we were 5 years old." And like, instead of going like, "Oh yeah, you know, that was at the park one day. That was just a picture of you, just lying." She
yeah.
goes, "Well, who remembers when they were 5 years old?" And just walks off. I'm like,
Well,
"Fuck you!"
and
Like, just
it's and the body language there, just a like idiot. Who remembers that shit?
yeah,
Like, wow,
like
not suspicious.
yeah, like at least try to lie to her and be like, "Oh no, that was just at the park at a playground, you know, and like you guys just so happen to be there, or
Like,
like, you
what really?
know, it
Wow,
was in
that's
the
crazy.
neighborhood. You guys
Yeah, I
didn't like."
guess. Yeah, you lived in the same neighborhood. I guess I just didn't realize. Wow, that's
Like, you didn't
crazy.
have to just like fucking shut her down and just be like, "Oh, well, who remembers when they're 5 years old?"
Well, like all the parents are doing that to these kids, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
obviously because of their guilt, and
yeah.
not actually knowing if they
It's
did,
like
but
they're kind of like gaslighting him in a way, you know,
yeah,
like, "Oh no, what are you talking about? This never happened." And yeah,
yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, and let's see what's after them. She freaks out, so she wants
she's
what's
in.
his name to come. Well, he comes over to her house, and she's chilling at
Well,
home.
no, first she has that cool dream in class, so
Oh,
she
that's
like
right.
is that was a cool transition. Like, I really like that when she sleeps and she's like, wake up," and then just like, poof, and it like turns into
I know because I kind of
like
thought
the
like I haven't seen this in a while, so I kind of thought,
yeah.
oh, she's just gonna be awake, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
No, but I like that. Like, it just
Yeah,
like goes in there and then like gives this like blood curdling scream, and then the teacher's like, "Are you okay?"
yeah.
It's like, do I
Every
sound okay?
like seriously, that was like
And
if
then
I heard that in the middle of class, I'd be like, "Oh shit, are you all right? What the fuck?"
like, "Do you need any help?" It's like, "Nope." And then everybody just goes back about their business, and the bell rings, and she runs off, just like, there's nothing wrong with her.
Typical high school.
She said she was fine. She's probably just stressed from homework and lack
Yeah,
of sleep. You
yeah.
know,
I mean, she did fall
hormones.
asleep in class after all. So bad. That's it. You're expelled.
Yeah.
Don't fall
Is
asleep
it
outside of school.
is it me, or is the guy that's her ex-boyfriend look like Kyle Winslet a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little
Okay.
bit. So
Not an
our
insult to
our
Kyle.
our good friend Kyle is in this movie.
Kyle Winslet is in this movie.
Yeah. We love you, Kyle.
And he also looks like he's wearing like eyeliner the whole time. He's got that like really like dark, like him and Quentin both, like all the guys in this movie like have that like eyeliner about them. And it's
Little
not like they're wearing it on
that's a little
purpose, but
fact
like
for the kids watching them. Back in 2010, all
we
men
all wear eyeliner.
wore eyeliner.
Really gives you that good look, you know, so you can.
Makes the eyes pop. And then it draws also away from your mouth hanging open constantly.
Because if I had that, you wouldn't even be looking at this.
Yeah, you'd be like, damn, look at those eyes. So brown.
She also drives such a hip car, the Bug, the
Oh, the
Volkswagen
little
modern
Volkswagen.
day
Yeah.
Bug, you know, like
Ooh,
ooh.
fancy. Those were all the rage. And then that's when she's at home
She
and
starts freaking out,
yeah, he like
and
sneaks over.
she like has him come over, or no, he creeps in
He just comes over.
because she's like,
She's chilling
yeah,
and she hears something. She goes to shut the window and he's like, bah! Like, oh, like, what the hell? You
this
gonna
will be
let
good
me
for
in?
her. I totally saw her scream at school today. This is a good idea, scaring her.
Yeah, I'm only her
But like,
ex-boyfriend climbing on the roof.
But like once again, it was so cool and refreshing, but also it sucks that like the one other like I mean Nancy later on you find out, but like
Yeah.
this girl totally believes the Brian Phillippe guy dies. Like, no, something killed him. It looked like something
Like, I
killed
was
him. It's
there. I
coming
saw
after
it.
in my fucking dreams too. And it's like, oh, you're probably just tired. I'll stay here with you
Like,
tonight.
and
Dude,
and
fuck
it's
you, dude.
dumb. It's dumb how he later admits, like, oh yeah, it's totally happened to me too. I guess I'll talk to you about it. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you
Thanks,
knew
bro.
this
You're
whole
supposed to.
time.
No wonder you're a fucking ex-boyfriend.
Seriously.
Her dream sequence just reminded me of the original. Like I see
I
what they did is they kind of like did homages to
yeah
the originals
yeah.
and then they kind of did their own. But like this just reminds me of the first one where like Freddy's in the alleyway and his arms go along.
Oh yeah.
And then he does that weird like run at her. Like I don't know why, like that image of the original Freddy's like weird, like
It's
like
probably
run
because
down
he
the
had to hold
alleyway.
those long ass arms
Well, it's like
and
his
run
arms are
down the.
already small again, but he like does this like swimming thing at her, and I'm like, to this day I fucking love it.
There's something about the old ones that have this like tinge of like comedy. I mean, like it's a horror,
It's
but
like
it's
that.
got this like it's not taking itself too seriously, but you can take it seriously at the same time. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know how to
like
describe it. Maybe
it's
it was
very
just because of the era, or maybe because of the
yeah, it's like very campy, but it's also very good.
yeah
But like I don't know, Wes Craven was great at that because like Scream was the same way. It's like it's very meta.
yeah
It's got goofy parts, but it's also fucking terrifying too. At times,
yeah
like oh my god, this is like brutal and terrifying. So
yeah
like it was the same thing. He like, I mean, he's one of the masters of horror for a reason.
yeah
So like that fine balance of like goofiness because it's like this dude's in a dream world, and then also like a shitload of blood comes out of a bed after sucking Johnny Depp into it. So it's like
yeah.
cool shit like that, you
But
know,
also, like, he can throw down a pun and it doesn't feel like it doesn't belong.
forced.
Now, in
Yeah,
this one, it
did a little bit.
feels like force and it feels weird because of his like molester shit. It just doesn't
Yeah,
work. Like,
his vibe, like original Freddy's vibe was like more serial killer crazy.
yeah.
Like this one's just like weird and wants to like finger bang you or something.
Like, oh
Like
god.
the original Freddy is like, you know, like try to fucking goof around.
And I'm gonna fucking murder you, but it's gonna be in like my terms and
Bitch.
my
Yeah.
crazy weird like
Come on, bitch, let's have fun,
yeah
bitch. Like
yeah.
it's
It's
I don't know. I think
ridiculous.
original Freddy's just having much more of a good time. He's having a lot more fun with what he does.
Again, well,
He
yeah,
takes pride in his work. You know, he likes what
yeah.
he does.
But like again, the serial killer like craziness.
Yeah,
Whereas this one is like creepy and like
because
kind of
no
pulls you into
other.
that like uncomfortable feeling. And then
Yeah,
when they throw in the puns, you're just like, dude, this no, not the
I
time,
get
man.
it. It was in the originals. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the time when
Yeah.
we're talking about child molestation. Maybe you got a time to have a pun. I'm saying,
Let's toss
but
those
like,
in, like
and I do like how the puns became such a big thing that they were like even blown up even more in every other Friday like Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Like
mhm,
every other one, like only time someone could say "Welcome to primetime, bitch," and I would not laugh. I was like, "Fuck yeah,
right,
nice!" Like
right. And
it wasn't
then
like, "Oh, that's silly and dumb." I was like, "Dude, fuck yeah, welcome to primetime,
but then it was that
smash!"
sweet like practical effect too. It was
Yeah,
really cool. And I love
the
that scene
head
because
coming
he's like
out of the
comes out of the
TV and then it goes.
TV. Yeah.
That's the coolest. Like it's that like that part where it's like the stretching and like
Yeah.
vacuum seals around his head. And I was like,
Like, it's so
whoa.
cool. I mean, because they play really heavily on that dream aspect. Whereas this one, they go into these dreams and it's just scary. It's just like a scary
Yeah, it's
room.
just like it's almost like the Silent Hill version of your world, like the Upside Down, where it's just like there's random leaves
Yeah.
in the hallways and everywhere. It's a little more dingy. It's like this is Dream World, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whereas like Freddy, like 1990s, 1980s version was like an actual dream world where like he just did weird shit, like literally slam you and become the TV and slam you into it, or be like a
Yeah,
scary like long snake thing like swallowing
she
you.
wakes up from a spooky dream, and like I know people do this in movies. I've never done this, but like gone and like splash water on my face after an intense moment. Like I feel better now. Hang
Yeah.
on. Like I've never like that's only in commercials and movies.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people do, but it seems weird. If like this makes me feel better,
I just had a spooky dream. And then like completely calm, even though they've already been talking about what's going on. Like it's weird. There's weird calm moments where I'm just like, how are you just mad and randomly so calm?
Yeah, like, oh, it's all over. Yeah,
And
I don't
then
get
no.
that.
Because then she gets back
Yeah.
in bed and he's like, oh.
Hey, bitch. I'm like, oh. He didn't say bitch once in this, and I was a little disappointed. But they do flip it at the end. Nancy gets to say bitch, but this is one of those scenes where I don't want to like. It's hard because I feel like this movie got shit on a lot because it was like the original. And it's like, oh, it's not like the original, which it's not gonna be.
No, and I don't think it's
But
supposed to be,
this
obviously.
scene was better in the original because I don't like her on the wires like flipping around.
Mhm.
I thought it was a lot cooler when they did that effect where like, the actual room's spinning but the camera's like stationary, so she's like crawling up the walls and rolling up them.
Yeah.
That was cooler to me, a lot more terrifying. This is just like,
Yeah, and
her being flung
they
around the
did that
walls.
in they did it in Poltergeist too, and it's
Yeah.
far creepier and looks way more
Yeah.
realistic than Wires.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, that works. It lands better and it works better in the
And also
original.
it has to do with the actor too. I mean,
Mhm.
without a decent actor, it's gonna still just look like you're rolling around a room, But I mean, if you're good
Yeah.
at it, then it looks like supernatural and
Yeah.
it looks creepy.
Supernatural. Ooh, spooky.
It looks what's bigger than super? Extraordinarily
Sup-
natural.
supranatural.
Supernatural.
And like, that was a cool simple kill. The one thing I do like about this movie, it's in the way of the originals, like Freddy's not in it a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't rely heavy on Freddy.
Yeah.
Like later on he's in it because it's like a bigger deal. It's like, oh, this was the cool part, kind of like Hellraiser, where like they weren't the point of Hellraiser, but everybody liked them, so like, oh, let's put them more in the movies.
Yeah. Which I didn't
Like
have an issue with because
the
the movies are
Cenobites or
cool.
Cinnabons, whatever they're
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Whatever
The
they're called.
churros.
The churro bites.
Yeah.
So it's like same thing with Freddy. Like, he was such a huge hit. We're like, hey, let's put him in the movie more. But I liked it. And this one, he's like not in it a whole lot. It's mostly about the kids.
Anyway, yeah. So she gets sliced. Obviously, he's gonna look like he killed her. I'm like, but what do you do? Like, would you run? Like, what would you do?
I don't know, because this is like, either way, you're gonna get caught. If you run, you look guilty.
But if
But
you sit there, you
also,
just look like a crazy weirdo, like admiring
but there
your
is
kill.
zero way to convince people like she floated in the air, and these 4 cuts in her just came out and she died. She fell down the bed. So like, either way, no one's gonna believe
if you
you.
stayed there, and you didn't go out of the room, I feel like a forensic person would know that you just were there the whole time.
Yeah,
And
because
be like, this is weird. Like, there's no way he could just like slice her like that. There's nothing sharp in
yeah,
here. Like
yeah. And there was a thing that maybe I thought too much into it, was like he leaves and the alarm on the house goes off. So I'd be like, oh, maybe it's obviously him because he was in there and he didn't break in because the alarm went off after he left. So it's like, and they never played on that. I was just overthinking that way too much.
They didn't play on like at it at all.
Yeah.
He got no, that was the other guy.
Yeah, he gets caught so quick, and then they're like, it's obviously you. Good police work.
Now enjoy your time in jail. I'm like,
Slam the
well,
bars.
he's done. He's done
so quickly too. Like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know how the process works. But first he runs away and goes to Nancy's house.
Yeah.
Which they have the loudest conversation
right after her mom leaves the room.
Yeah. And her mom's like, Nancy? And then he's like, oh, you gotta believe me. He's like talking super loud.
Yeah, she like turns it, well, like she's whispering, and then like they're kind of quiet at first, then she turns to go, she's like, no, you come back here. And she's like, oh, you're like, dude, shut up.
And the mom doesn't hear it. She's like,
is everything okay in there? Sounds like a grown man. I can hear a grown man. Is that your voice?
Yeah.
The meal's ready.
And then he gets taken to the old slammer.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there was a thing, like I thought they were gonna do like something with his new prison mate, was gonna like, fuck around with him, like take his shoes, beat him up. No, he just gives him top bunk, and then he's like up there shaking around.
Shut up, man.
Yeah. That was a cool death too.
Yeah, that was a cool death.
Yeah. Because he gets, they got you bail, and he gets out, and like the turn around, then just like brick wall.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
Fuck, dude, you fucked.
Yeah.
And he comes into Freddy's boiler room,
Mm-hmm.
where he has him hanging like a predator, like he's like got a trophies, like he's the predator. He's got him hanging upside down.
And then
Punches a hole through him. Just
I love that. No, he has him hanging upside down, and he tells him that his brain's gonna live for another 7 minutes after his heart stops.
So we got a lot of time to play, and by play I mean play with your privates.
I
don't know if I established that, but that's what I like to do.
I feel like they're establishing it through the entire movie.
Yeah, and they're really playing heavy on it,
Like a lot, and like it's really bad when he finally gets into what's her name's dream, and you realize that was like his favorite.
You're always my favorite.
He gives her the old Jabba the Hutt.
The old bow shooter, you know what I mean? Does she have the bath? She goes in the bath, right?
Yeah, and they do the cool,
like the cool hand coming out. Like
I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. I like that.
I do like I set an alarm. He's like, yeah, in your dream, and I was like,
oh,
he gotcha.
That'd be great if it just went off right there.
Damn it!
You're like, yeah,
yeah, like that was a fucking cool sequence. They got that cool like hand coming out of the tub, which is like classic shot, and then you're my favorite.
Yeah. Like,
and then she calls Quentin,
who's chilling he's chilling at the library. He's using, what was that? I wrote that one down because I was like, wow, that's a cool search engine. Blast Off search engine.
Hang on, there was another one later on. Gigablast was the other one.
Why there's so many search engines in this universe?
I mean, there was the 2000s were a wild time for search engines.
It's true.
Gigablast, let's go.
You got Blast Off. Lots of blast.
We got blast in this movie. So he has like the dream where he's suddenly following a small creepy child through a library. Once again,
who does that?
Why would you do that? I would never do that. I would never follow a child for multiple reasons, especially in a creepy situation.
Yeah,
you know, like,
where all of a sudden there's nobody around, there's no traffic outside, and now there's a creepy child laughing, and why would I follow it?
I do like how the bookshelves were like taller and like
I know, and like
moving and stuff. Like that was really cool. Like there's cool elements to this, you know.
Yes.
I'm so exhausted from doing what? You've been up for a night. Like, why is she like, oh, I'm so exhausted. You want some Ritalin? Like,
no, I like how he offers her drugs like multiple times. She's like, no.
And then he keeps like pocketing them. Like, I'm like, oh, that's gonna come up later. It never does again. I mean, other than he like runs out, but like,
yeah. And then
do you want some of my Ritalin?
Yeah, been taking it since like I was like 5, and then it becomes
that's LD.
And then it becomes like 15 when he's trying to get more from the pharmacist.
I just gotta stay awake, man. I just gotta get well one time, man. I gotta stay awake.
Oh, it's cool, man. I've been taking them since I was 15. It's all good. I don't care if I get like 2. It's all good. Give me some. I'm like, dude, you're not helping your cause. I'm like, you're trying to
hook me up fatty style with some pills.
And I like how they're like, I hate how in this movie, this is one thing that did piss me off, that all this shit happens, and then they go back to, oh, well, it's just memories. Oh, that's what it is. It's just memories. It's just memories. And it's just like, oh, yeah, memories that can fucking kill you. So, like, why all of a sudden are they just now memories when 4 fucking people are dead now? Oh, wait, I guess not. You're like,
it's
why
like
do you keep doing that?
Yeah, like everybody is telling everybody else, no, you're wrong. And then suddenly they're like, no, you're right.
Like,
no, but you're wrong.
We
and
have
then,
to
like, they go
experience it for ourselves.
But even when they do, they're like, no, you're probably just tired. No, they're just memories. You know, if we keep thinking about it, then it's going to happen. So let's not dream about it. Let's have good thoughts. Like, that's what it's just so weird. Like, none of them all banded together at once.
Yeah.
It was just like you're crazy. Now I believe you. But
until the bitter end when all of them but 2 are dead.
Final 2.
Yeah. Then they band together.
This is also when Quentin reveals the idea of micronaps, which, like, it's not a very intimidating word, you know? Like, you just took a micronap. Whoa.
Well, I mean, he says it later on.
Yeah. You just
that was a micro. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
Like, that's not. I get it. They're like, oh, let's kick it up a notch. You know, hey, we've already made Fredly a diddler. Let's introduce Friddler, you know, Fredly the diddler.
That's what he is. He's a friddler.
A friddler on the roof. And he's Let's introduce micro naps. You know,
Yeah.
what?
Dude,
A
I just
new
had a
concept,
just had a sweet micro nap, bro.
dude. I just microed so hard, bro.
Yeah, dude,
You
I got
didn't like.
so much energy, bro. So much energy.
I just microed right there. You'd even notice,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't have
Dude,
to close my eyes for it.
I'm feeling so good.
Yeah.
Also, like, okay, so they go to Nancy's house,
Mhm.
and this drawing comes up later, which I was really excited about. She has this drawing on her like dresser, and it's like a little red guy, it's like a little crayon or something. But to
Mhm.
me, it looks like a penis with like arms and
Oh
legs.
my god,
Did you see that too?
there were a
Yeah.
few that looked like that, and I was like, why? I was
And
like,
then
God, dude,
it's
this is creepy. Like,
and then
what?
later on when they're in like Freddy's cave, you see him too, and I was like, maybe
Gross.
she was drawing penises. I just thought it was like, oh, little kid drew a body,
Like,
and it's like,
well,
oh
when I
no, she
saw
might
it
have actually drawn a penis.
in the cave, I just thought, gross. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Dicks.
That's what I thought. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, again, really driving the whole like
Did you notice?
maybe we're grasping at straws at this point, but
Yeah.
I
I
don't
saw a
know.
dick. I saw a dick
There,
clear as day.
I saw multiple. There were multiple, and they had arms and legs and faces. Anybody else seen this movie?
Write a comment if you saw a dick in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm seeing two dicks right now. Me and you.
Okay. Then then they're at the library. They're looking at that thing. They talk about the Pied Piper, and then I was like, still, that kind of doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, because he liked kids and the kids followed him into the room. Like, I don't understand
well,
that.
in that story, it's the dude. Like the townspeople ran the guy out of town. I can't remember
Yeah.
what for, but then for
For
revenge, he steals
stealing
their kid.
kids. Yeah,
Well,
or
he steals their
something.
kids for revenge.
Yeah,
But
so like was the
like, it was the parents' fault for
see, I don't
the
get it.
kids
See, like
getting
the
revenge
original
done.
that's why the original works is because like he's getting revenge on the parents by going after their kids.
Yeah,
This one he's just like, I'm gonna go after the kids because they told on me.
yeah. So it's
Like,
like, and then I'm just like, the what is the lesson in this? Like,
don't tell on anybody is the lesson.
I guess so, or they'll come back and kill you in your dreams, like, because that's what it is. Like, oh, hey, you guys told on me, so now I get revenge on you, and it's like, wow, not only are you like a creepy molester, but you're even worse than the creepy molester because, like, if they didn't do what you wanted,
I
you
get you.
literally that like hell bent to come back from the dead
Yeah,
just to kill them,
we
you
get it.
know? Like, I don't know, maybe it might have been a little bit lucky to be burned alive by a couple of parents instead of sent to prison.
Ever think of that? Then you wouldn't become a dream ghost. Um, so they, I think they go to Nancy's, and she has that dream at the preschool,
Mhm.
and she shows Quentin. She's like, "Yeah, I drew this picture I had last night, and it's like this beautiful, detailed picture." And I was like, "Man, you spent a lot of time drawing that fucking preschool, dude."
Yeah.
Oh, it's just this old thing. I just sketched it up really quick. I put it on this
Yeah.
brown paper and used chalks and darknesses in it, so and charcoals, to
So you
really
can really,
emphasize the
yeah,
creepiness of it and the
I wanted to
shadows.
show depth in the picture.
Yeah,
So I went ahead and shaded. I was up all night doing it. Well,
yeah.
I had a micro nap and I woke up and boom.
Look at this beautiful picture. Do you want it?
Yeah, you can have it. Drew it for you.
And then like, so then yeah, she's like, they find that hidden envelope in her mom's desk, which is the worst way to hide it. Because like slamming it closed. Like this movie also went really fast. Like they're just like
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. And like, so the mom's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you guys are kids, blah, 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 whatever. I think that's what did she reveal that they're a
Not
diddler?
no, not really.
She says, we're trying to protect you, like something.
Yeah, they find out that he was like that they killed him because that kid has a dream while he's swimming. He takes a
Yeah.
micro while he's swimming.
Yeah, well, because before that, she's like, "We need to go find these other people," and he goes, "Listen to yourself. You sound crazy." And like that was one of those moments of like, "Dude, you were with me a minute ago."
Yeah.
And
What
then
happened?
his dad shows up, Mr. Clancy Brown,
Yep.
and then that's when she gets on Giga Blast and finds those kids in the pictures, and it turns out they're all dead.
All of them are already dead. They all died of same shit all these other kids are dying of.
They got they
Sleep.
got they got fiddled by Freddy, is what they got.
They got they got friddled.
They got friddled.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, then like yeah, Clinton has his micro nap while swimming, and this poor guy has to have a dream in his Speedo. And like I
Right?
feel bad
And then
for the
like
act, and then the actor's like outside, and he's like visibly like cold. Like I'm like, poor fucking actor, poor
all these
kids. Like,
people drive past him. He's standing out there in the shitty like whatever steel
yeah,
mill or whatever.
he's in a speedo, and was like, this poor guy's like, can I dream myself some clothes right now?
No. No, you're too distracted by what's going on. Now go watch
Also, that swim teacher was just spouting straight nonsense numbers. We're gonna do 13 fives, and you go with the Dolphins and 5, and then you're gonna
I
come
know, I'm
back to
like,
42 fours, and you're gonna go the something downs. I'm like, that swimming.
all right. Anybody any swimmers watch this? I want to know if that guy was talking gibberish or not. Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, dolphins? What is that? But then again, I never asked
Why are we
anybody like
doing?
any swimmers. Like, is that
Yeah,
a move? Is that a swimming move? A dolphin?
and there's like, you gotta do 15 ups and backs, and we're going
We're going
downward
left and
spiral.
right and side to side. Do a
We're
barrel roll.
going 9-inch nails, downward spiral, kids. Let's go. Yeah, he gets to see the origin of Mr. Fiddler,
Kind of.
kind of. But see,
Because
then like,
because
I
all
w-
it shows is him getting burned and him going like,
yeah,
you
by
get
the
out here, and then his parent. And then what's his name? Weirdly, this is for my son. Yeah, that was some
fire
weird.
spreads
I was like
fast,
that was
dude.
a well, that whole part where he did that. I was like, this is a weird scene.
This
It
is
just
for my
didn't.
son.
Yeah, it's like how he said it.
This is for my son. And then like, and then that little can just like spreads so much fire. And then of course he has to take his jacket off, revealing the Freddy thing, and then just boom, it's
He runs out of the building.
like I feel like
Well, he runs at the guy in the speedo, which is even
Clinton.
more scary. Yeah,
I feel like he was almost doing that to Quentin. Because I mean, like the whole point was him to get them back there, right? In a way. I feel like he was doing that to Quentin to manipulate him, going like, I wasn't the bad guy. Your parents did it. They did it.
yeah,
Go yell at your parents. I wasn't
Yeah.
innocent. And then that's what he does. He
yeah.
goes to his dad, the principal, was like, you fucking burn an innocent man, dude. Fuck this. And then he does
Yeah,
the
how do you know?
punch the
How do you
lockers.
know? 5-year-olds say all kinds of shit, which is
we
true.
would have said anything, you know? And they
Yeah.
didn't find the cave.
Yeah,
And that to me was something kind of cool and brilliant about this movie. Like they didn't have to hammer in the pedophilia so hard, but to have that like small piece in the movie, like, oh shit, maybe he was innocent.
yeah.
And you have that doubt in your mind, and then later on you're like, oh no, he was not. And that was cool. Like,
with that, it would have been cooler if they would have played on maybe a bit earlier in the movie.
yeah,
Because then you'd be like casting that doubt earlier on the movie would have made me a little bit more engaged, I think.
yeah.
Again, well, I will say that this isn't as bad as the last two we've watched, thankfully.
Yeah.
But where are we after that? Okay, so he goes and blames his dad, and then like leaves her, just slams the door, and leaves her in there. I'm like, I'm gonna go too.
As far as you concerned, Fred Krueger never existed. There is one bit I want to talk about just quickly.
Sure.
When after he wakes up out of the pool, and they wake him up,
Mhm.
the coach is like, go get the nurse. I'm like, why? So she can give him an ice pack and a paper towel. That'll
Right.
fix him. Like,
And I
what's
love
she
how
gonna
like
do?
everybody in this movie is just so not concerned about people halfway drowning or freaking out in class. The are you okay? You okay?
Go get the
The
nurse.
coach is like,
Hey, you okay, buddy?
I don't know. You were just giving me CPR. Did it look like I was going to survive or pull through? Then he just
seems
gets
fine.
up and runs out.
But yeah, after that, yeah, he does yell at his dad about burning an innocent man. Then he does that cool punch the lockers when Nancy follows him. He's like, I can't believe it. Pew!
Yeah, Kaya.
Kaya! I'm so mad at my dad I could punch these lockers. Pew! Like, so yeah, and then they have this idea, try to stay awake. They're gonna go try to find the preschool, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when he has to go get more Ritalin. And no, it was before that. That's right. That's when he's like, oh, you just had a micro nap. Because they do that scene from the original where it's the body bag being dragged away, and she's in it. I'm like, don't you want to play? Don't you? Oh no, it's don't you want to hang out? I'm like, that just seems so weird. And then I just saw her in a body bag. You just had a micro nap.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go get me some more drugs.
Yeah. He didn't need them.
No. He just says he does. He's that dependency on him. I could quit at any time.
Let me just take a few.
Yeah.
I'll quit when I feel like it. Quit when I wanna.
To stay awake, she does the cigarette burner on her arm. Like, why don't you do it on your leg so you don't have to have
Yeah.
that scar on your arm for the rest of your life? Maybe I just have that forethought of like, nope, I don't want that on my arm. Better do it on my leg.
This is when
And
so you could show it off. This is the time when the Friddler was after me.
I survived the Friddler because of this cigarette lighter. I burned my leg with it.
Yeah.
Totally kept me awake for like 2 more seconds, and then he got me.
Yeah, and then I went into this convenience store and I had another micro, and boom.
And I just yelled Quentin as many times as I could. You know, Quentin. The
Nobody else seems to give a shit in this place either.
well, like
Shit's
this whole
falling off the
scenario,
shelves.
like this whole scenario, like I'm totally with the pharmacist on this one. Of like, no, this kid's a druggie because he's acting all weird and so he's like, just give me some, I'm taking it. And then you have this like drugged out girl is just like, Quentin, we need to go. And it's like this tweaker couple that you're just
freaking out in the middle of an
yeah.
aisle, like on her
And
back,
just
like,
like
and like
and I'm like, I'd be
shit's
that
falling.
pharmacist, like, you don't need this, dude. You and your tweaker girlfriend are just trying to score some
Yeah,
more.
get the fuck out. I'm calling the cops.
And she's all like, you know, greasy haired looking. So like, it's not doing them any favors.
No,
Which I
they
mean, also
both look.
plays into it. Like, you know, like
Yeah, they
no one's
both
gonna
look all
believe them.
gross. You know.
Yeah. Those once again, cool transitions of like she's on the aisles, and then the aisles start turning into the
Yeah, that
the
was
halls of the
cool.
boiler room.
And he's like,
And then
when
like
he's grabbing it, like scraping
like,
along the wall, and then when it goes back, he just knocks all that shit off, and then it goes
yeah.
back.
And it keeps like that's so cool. It keeps going back and forth and like blends into each other. Then like it'll show her crawling in that. Like that was really fucking cool scene.
Like, there's definitely some cool. This movie had cool transitions. Like, there were cool. Like, this one didn't like. It didn't really jump around or really like, but it had really like, you know, like with like the death scene with that guy in the prison when he gets his like just bam, and then it just cuts to that dude in the corner like fuck.
I didn't do it. And he's just like laying down on the ground, you know, like
Yeah, like that was cool. Like that
yeah.
was a cool transition into like another scene. And there's yeah, they go after that. Then they're driving. They're trying to
Hospital.
get to. Well, no, they're trying to drive to the place, and then Freddy shows up in the road. Bam! Right into
No, because they're at the hospital first because that's where he gets the adrenaline. Remember,
you don't
he
have
gave
the
himself an
adrenaline
adrenaline
yet.
shot. Yeah, so she goes to
Well,
the
no, because they go.
hospital.
I thought they went to the hospital after they hit Freddy or almost hit Freddy because like they're on their way. Or no, you're right.
No,
You're right.
yeah, because that's when you get because then they go to the hospital and they
And then
try
her
to
mom
sedate
shows
her.
up. Yeah,
Yeah, but he like pockets some adrenaline and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they sneak out.
Like
Typical,
the
like
adrenaline seems dangerous, man.
yeah, and like he has like the most mild reaction to like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
It's like,
Whoa. Well, I mean, he's a drug addict, obviously. He's like,
yeah,
oh shit. Like, oh, this is
whoa,
good. You
instead of
want
just
some of
being like,
this?
like
Which is probably like what we'd be like,
and like adrenaline's
stomping
not
that
supposed to
throttle.
like last a long time. It's supposed to like get you up so then you can get medical attention, not just like I'm on this for hours. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
Like
supposed to. Yeah, it's normally to get your heart pumping hard again.
yeah.
Like
It's not for just like staying awake. So yeah,
like
no shit, it didn't work.
we do a lot of recreational
Adrenaline
adrenaline.
shots.
Yeah, like to
See, we're
stab
gonna
myself in the leg.
adrenaline later. We're gonna stay awake so we don't get friddled by Freddy. We're gonna, you know, try and take some micros, and then we're just gonna adrenaline later, dude.
Yeah. Well, you micro all day, then you adrenaline,
And then
at
you
the end of the
adrenaline
night.
at night, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
So
so
we
you
can
can
stay
stay.
up and party,
Yeah, so you can
you know?
party and not get friddled.
And then we
Mostly,
can listen to Deftones Adrenaline all night, dude.
I'm into that.
Yeah, he should have had like way more of an intense reaction to adrenaline. Like they're not just that. Like that's one of my like I don't know why that always bothered me. Just like the whoa, all right,
Adrenaline.
okay,
Nice.
I like this. One more, please. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like that's what it was like. Like it wasn't just like. At least hers later, she was just like up and like.
Well, he stabs her right in the heart with that shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk so we can try to stay awake. What do you want to talk about?
What's your favorite color?
Blue. How come whenever I ask you out, you never want to come with me? Well, I'm not exactly normal. I don't know if you've seen my art. I draw scary stuff with chalk.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. Like, They're cool drawings. You don't have to act like you're such like this Tim Burton fucking
I'm
like
so deep. I'm so like edgy.
so dark, like fucking Tim Burton. Oh,
I
it's
wish
like no, you just make cool art. Just say like I make dark art, whatever.
I wish my dad was Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, cries the raven, nevermore.
Yeah.
I have a raven at home named Poe. Do you
Yeah.
want to see him?
He's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm not exactly normal.
Yeah. All right. So they got this. They crashed in the spooky swamp.
I think, yeah, and then they make it to the preschool.
Where's that?
And-
What part was that where she's like has to like she runs down that hall? Oh, that's when she
She's in the dream.
yeah, and she
Right,
gets stuck
yeah,
in that
yeah.
like gooey.
Blood, yeah.
And that was cool.
But like before that, they're in the preschool, and you know they're looking around, and then they find the cave. They find Freddy's cave.
Well, they find that box of
yeah,
creepy memorabilia first.
because yeah, like she sees that picture blown, and they're like, oh, there's something behind there. And she sees all those drawings, like obviously her drawings, you know, from before. He's like, would you draw me a picture? He's like, I got a real cool place if you keep it a secret. And you're like, oh man, he was
It's
a
like
Riddler.
there's
Oh,
puppies, there's candy, there's popsicles, you name it.
you
It's
just
all
gotta
down there
tell
in
your
this game.
parents. You can't tell your parents. So then they devise this plan because she earlier grabs sweaty,
his
sweaty sweater, Freddy's sweater.
might be
sweater.
might be sweaty.
I mean, he's in the heat all the time.
Yeah.
You know? But she's like, if I brought his sweater here so I could bring him here. What if I'm the only one that can?
I mean, I liked the logic in that. I was like, well, you never know. You've already done it before. You know you can do it. Might as well.
That's true. That's true science right there. You know, it's like we know the result. This is not a time to experiment.
Yeah.
We know.
Like it's already been put into action. She did it. She's literally holding his sweater and smell.
Let me go.
Yep, that's Freddy.
Bring it out. Oh, that's Freddy juice. All right.
Yep, that's Friddler.
Sweaty Freddy juice. And then like, so in this movie, he makes the weapon out of the paper cutter, which like during this time, did we think those were like weapons? Because I remember in The Faculty, Josh Hartnett does the same thing. He like does that cool, like rips it off, and then all he does is cut like Jon Stewart's fingers off. But it's just a great movie. Faculty is a great movie. I'm not dogging on Faculty.
No.
But like, if you actually look at one of those and
they're
like,
very
pick it up, like the blade is like doesn't even stick out on those things. I was like, how is this?
No, it's barely a bat. It's barely a blade. Like it's not even like a blade. It's like a square edge. Like
yeah, it's like scissors. It's what scissors are. It's you do
like you literally have to sharpen it for it to do any damage.
Yeah, and it's like there's no blade showing. It's not like this giant sword, you know. It's like we're gonna get him with this.
I like how it breaks off perfectly too, and like it's like a little machete.
Yeah.
And then when he's like touching it, like just how loud it's that's nice and sharp.
Yep, gonna do it. And then like they have to kiss, obviously, you know, really show them love.
And then she lays down on that gross bed. I'm like,
yeah. And then for the first time, it takes her way too long to fall asleep.
It's probably because
any other time in this movie, everybody's just like, and then he, on the other hand, sit there. He's like, if I start doing this thing, wake me up. I don't want. He's like, I'm never gonna let that happen. And instantly, like, you failed your job. Instantly failed your job.
See, the way I looked at that is like, well, she's trying to fall asleep, so now she can't. He's trying to stay awake, so he's like,
because that's true. Like when I have to go to sleep and I'm trying to make myself go to sleep, I can't.
Yeah.
So
and when I don't want to stay awake, I'm like,
I do like his reaction though when he finds out he falls asleep. He's like, ah, shit. Like that's pretty fucking.
Which is pretty much what I would have done too. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck. Like, well, I screwed this plan up. Looks like I'm just gonna have to improvise.
So then he starts chasing Nance around because he gets the guy who's like, your girlfriend, I'm gonna finish her off or whatever he says. I don't know.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get some of that.
Boy, I'm gonna get your girlfriend. She can't help you. Oh bitch. And
and there's that long scene of her and him, and it's
just so much. And like, well, first he chases her around. She hides in the closet. It's like he knows where you are.
Like it's his dream world. I'm like,
like, how did the word boo come to be in the existence of the human race? When did we figure out that boo
Was
is
what a
to scare
ghost said,
somebody.
and that's how you scare people? I don't know.
Yeah. And why did Freddy decide to go boo? Like that was.
There's
I
got
don't
to
know
be
what
some
that.
history
Boo.
behind it. Anybody know the history behind that?
In the comments below, if you invented the word boo, let us know.
Is that why do ghosts say that? Why is that the go-to for a ghost?
Yeah. Boo.
I hope it's not
Yeah.
something awful from American history.
Yeah, it's probably very awful, and we're using it in a lighthearted way.
We don't know.
I
That's why we're asking.
we didn't know. I do like the blood hall. That was cool.
That was really
Where
cool.
she's running and suddenly it's just like thick ass like blood. She's like
That was
drowning. And I was
awesome.
like, okay.
And then goes through it. That way that like she fell through it, and the way that like effect where it just stayed there, like it was like splashing, but
There
like
was at first I was upset because it was like CG blood. I was like, oh man, just use the real thing. And then I saw why. It's because she fell through it clean and in a
yeah.
dress. I was like,
And then it's like,
oh,
oh,
okay.
and it was cool. Like I was like,
So
okay,
like
that was good.
that's one of those moments of like using CG blood made sense. At first I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, just use real. I'm like, oh, but that's what you're okay. And then I liked it. I liked it after that. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Well, like again, that's a good application of CG right there.
Yeah.
Because I
Because
mean,
it's
I feel
like,
like making water look like water probably can't be that hard. I mean, like a person, like probably a
yeah,
pain in the ass. I mean, like we've seen the weird, like, and we talked about this in the last thing. We didn't see a lot of in Aragon, which was awesome because it
yeah.
sucks
The
when you see it.
CG people, especially
Yeah, when they're going like
2000s.
wiggling around, like they're getting
Ooh.
it just looks awful.
Yeah. But this one, like, at first I hated the CG blood until I saw what they were doing with it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Now I like it. Because I was
Yeah.
fucking sick. She's like suddenly in her little gross schoolgirl dress, and Freddy gets creepy for way too long, and he's like,
Yeah. And now I'm your boyfriend. And it's like, oh, okay. So
that was a ooh.
my
Ugh.
question to that, like, so is he gonna like keep her in a coma just so he can like torture her, or is he gonna kill her?
Yeah. I don't
Because he
know.
does end up throwing her against the wall, but
Yeah,
that
but it's
doesn't mean
like
like he has to
he
kill her
never
right away.
like yeah, it's like he's gonna play with her. You want to play?
Like
There is a line I just forgot about till I read my notes. It was in the blood hall. And he goes, how's that
oh
for a wet
yeah,
dream?
and that was another thing. I was just like, dude, no, the puns don't work in this. That was where I wrote the pun thing down. I was like, no, the
How's that for a wet dream?
like, okay,
Because
yeah,
like
the
it's
puns.
the way he did it, it just seemed like he was trying to be like, but like when Freddy was doing it, it was like once again, he was having a good time. So of course the original Freddy could make a joke. He's like, I'm slaughtering you and I'm gonna have a fun time. So I'm gonna make a fucking
Yeah,
joke.
and I'm having a great time doing it. So
Yeah.
like,
This one seems like he was trying to get them to laugh. He's like, talk about what dream, right?
right, right, right.
Was this written by some 14-year-old boys from
20
Colorado at a high school? Maybe.
us, yes.
And also the way he says, I like this. I like this dress. This was one of my favorites. It sounded like Forrest Gump. I was like this dress. It was one of my
One of my
favorites.
favorites.
I was like, I don't know why in that one scene just sounded like Forrest. I should do like this. It's one of my favorite dresses.
So do we in any of the movies, and did they ever talk about what his glove is all about?
He was a gardener.
Well, I know that. So did he make himself like a cool like shearing
Yeah,
glove? Because that's what
yeah.
it
Like
seemed like.
I think in the like it's revealed later on. I think it was the one where you find out it's Freddy's house. I don't know. They're all a blur. Like it's been a while since I watched them all back to back. But like yeah, like I think he made that for gardening, or like he had one and it was like a little finger one or something like that. But then yeah, like the Freddy made his like gauntlet of it, like because like and when I was thinking about it in this movie, is like why would you need that for? Why would they make that? Because
Yeah.
you can't use your hand. You can only use it to cut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get your other hand in there
Unless you're just
because they showed pieces of it.
Yeah.
And this one, like on his thing, like just the one finger of it.
And I thought,
So it's
oh,
like,
okay. Well, maybe he was making something for gardening.
I'd like to pick
But
my
then
tomatoes with this.
But then also when they showed like those back like memories of the kids like with scratches and shit. So I'm like, well, so is he like abusing them like
He always had
physically
like,
as well? Or
yeah, yeah,
like there were just there's a few holes in this that don't make a lot of sense because like
yeah,
they're driving it home that he's like this molester, but like also like abusing them physically, but like
yeah.
it was he or wasn't he? Because like none of them reveal to have scars later on in this movie, which a
No,
big scar, like when they lift up that girl's shirt and it's like on her back or the boy's shirt or whoever it was, like why
like you'd
don't
have that forever.
yeah, and what they just
And so
nobody
like,
it just
and that'd been something cool they could play on, because then that girl, it was like, well, that's what the scar on my back's from, not like that fucking, bike accident you told me it was from. Like they could have done that, just like a small little thing. You're like, oh, cool, that's what
because
that's
they
from.
never go back into that.
No,
So it's like okay, so he was just
just an abuser. Like we don't care about that part. We already getting edgy with him being a diddler. All right, folks, we want more story after that.
like I didn't want more story about him doing that to kids. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird.
Like
But
it's honestly like with that, like they again they didn't like what you said. They didn't have to go so deep into it. That was a very swing and a miss on that one, in my opinion. Like I think we could have touched on it and then
yeah,
been like, all
we
right,
didn't
well,
have to
okay,
like
fine.
didn't have to fucking hammer it home.
Yeah, and then like, have that weird scene where he's like getting all creepy with what's her name.
Yeah,
And you're just
and then yeah,
just make it be about revenge and killing him, like not
yeah.
coming back to
I don't
like
need to have a story. I don't need to have a reason. It's just cool to watch this guy fucking kill people in their dreams. That's all we ever want to see. We don't care about his motives.
we want to see visceral death, that's all.
Yeah, that's all we want to see. Know your audience, all right?
Yeah, especially in a movie like this.
Yeah. So like she wakes up because he gives her the adrenaline shot right when Freddy's like, let me take a stab or whatever. I don't remember.
And
I
he
have the line written down.
and he moved or so that was it's still that doesn't make sense. So like if you wake up and you're holding on to him, then you bring him
You
into
could
your
bring him
world.
in. Yeah, I think there's something similar to that in the once again, it's been a while. So like then she says, you're in my world now, bitch, and they have
Mhm.
that fight. And then she hits him once in the throat and he falls down. I'm like, fucking hack him up.
I
I'd be
would.
like, it's over. And he was like, pow, pow, pow.
I know. I would have removed his head.
Finish the job. I
Yeah.
mean, I know he's like a demon or ghoul of sorts, so like it's still finish the job. Don't just burn him. Like
Well,
he's
like
already been burnt.
and then I thought, okay, so is he going to be like a human when he comes? But like
He's
he
still
still seems like supernaturally strong because he still like
yeah.
throws
So
her like really hard into
I mean,
stuff
he's
and
still
like
like a weird ghosty ghoul. I mean, just because you bring him into our world
so
doesn't mean he
like
still doesn't have powers.
so like if so what kind of creature is he? Is he like just a spirit fueled by revenge? Or is
He's a
he an
nightmare,
actual
bro.
like demon?
He's a nightmare. We make our dreams come true, and he
Yeah, but he
made.
was a living person before he got burned to death.
That's true.
So it's like,
Yeah, like how
is he
did
that strong spiritually that he could will his way into like dreams and stay alive? So he didn't actually die there, which is pretty intense as
yeah
far as like a person being that
yeah.
power.
Oh, I'm
Like,
not done yet. I'm gonna be a dream lord.
that's pretty like. Now I'm just going into a whole nother like lore of like what
Yeah,
he could
the Freddy
possibly be.
lore.
I don't want him to be
Yeah,
a diddler anymore.
let's get into the Freddy verse. All
Like
right.
maybe he was like a warlock,
Mm.
and like they found
Well,
out
that's
and
like
then
in
they burned
Child's
him.
Play.
Yeah.
Remember in Child's Play where like he puts his soul into the doll because he's also like, got
Well, like I would imagine that
satanic stuff.
like Freddy wasn't trying to die,
No, yeah.
and maybe these people found out that he was
Well,
like
like
a witch or whatever, and so they killed him. And he's like, "Well,
neither
fuck you
was the
guys, I'm
guy
coming
in
back for your
Child's
kids."
Play. He wasn't trying to die. He was just like on the verge of death.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the Chucky doll. So like maybe this Freddy did the same thing. He's like on the verge of burning to death. He's like, I'll become a
Well, see, like
dream.
I could also you could also go in the way that he was like a warlock or whatever, and the parents found out and they burned him, and he's like, "Well, fuck you guys, I'm going after your kids."
Like in the Beyond.
Yeah, there you go.
Didn't go after the kids though, but he was a warlock and everybody burned him.
Yeah,
Burned him
and
with that gooey acid.
then he's he's so powerful that he just stayed alive, and people's like, and he lives in the dream realm.
Because you can't kill a dream.
Well, not necessarily. He could control the entire
See?
thing.
But you'll never be able to kill Freddy because he's always up here.
Yeah.
As long as you remember him, you can never kill a dream. A dream can never die.
Yep.
Then yeah, everything's a-okay. You think it's good. Nancy's talking to her mom, in the
Why don't-
mirror, and
Why don't you go upstairs and
who's
get
that?
yourself some sleep?
Yeah.
Well, I
And who's
think
that?
there's a quick, and they just do it so quick, like when they're getting loaded up into the ambulance. Oh, we didn't find a body. You hear him say that, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Of
think
course
you
you're not.
would.
There's got to be a sequel. It's Freddy, you know.
But then there wasn't.
But that is a good final kill.
Yeah, that one was cool. I
Yeah,
really
like
enjoyed that one.
the original one's like it's silly and it's creepy, but it's also a doll being sucked through a tiny window on a door, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
But this one was cool because it's like thing through the face at you and then pulled into a mirror. I was like,
And then the
holy
mirror's like,
fuck. Yeah,
that was awesome.
That's a
So then
good final
I
kill.
wonder, like, oh man, is he like, like, is he now like he can like transcend like regular world into like,
You
like
can go
man,
in both. Folks, we hope you're having a great time chowing down on some candy, the big old pillowcase full of candy that you got there. We hope that you went out dressed as your two favorite podcasters. But hey, you know what? The night's not done. There's
Mm-mm.
still more that you can do.
That's right. You want to hop on your computer? You want to hop on your phone? You're going to head on over to Project Nerd. That's project-nerd.com. You know what we're going to find there? You're going to find more of us. I mean, not looking like this, but you're definitely going to find more of us, and you're going to find other stuff. Might be better than us. Probably better than us.
It's better than us. We'll say it.
Unboxings,
Go check it out.
cosplay, some sweet stuff.
You're going to be all hyped up on candy. What else are you doing for the rest of the night? Let's get going to Project Nerd.
Shall we rate it? We're going on.
Let's rate it. Okay. Me first?
Mm-hmm. Since it was my movie.
This isn't the worst movie we've watched this season. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I really tried going into it being like, not that, oh, it's not going to be like the original, because it's not. So I went into it going, this isn't going to be like the original. It had some cool kills. It had some neat ideas. I really did not think they needed to hammer home the pedophilia so much. I think they could have just done without that. And it'd have been good. It would have been a decent 2000s remake of an old horror movie. But because of the Friddler, I'm going to have to give it, I don't know, 5.3 micronaps. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It's real middle of the road. It's a real Friddler in the road is what it is.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I did see this before. And I just felt the same way. It really hammer in that like pedophilia aspect of and you don't need it. Like they could have touched on it lightly and we would have known for the rest of the movie that was his thing. That was what he was into. Fine, we'll accept it. But like when you have to keep going and you keep going with it, it's just like, we get it. We got it. Now, like there's really cool stuff that goes down in this. Like there's some really cool visceral scenes. There's cool blood effects sometimes. There's some cool death stuff. But again, as Dylan said, it's very middle of the road. Like it could have been way cooler with some maybe added stuff and definitely some stuff taken out, like the whole Friddler. But yeah, middle of the road. 5.3 micronaps. That's yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we were kind of butthole on this one, but not too much.
We're not too shitty of a butthole. I mean, this is what this season's going to be, folks. We're not going to love every movie that we're given a second chance, and
we're not going to hate every movie either.
We don't have to. That's what giving shits a second chance is about. Yeah. You give it a second chance, and if it's still shitty, it's still shitty. Well, I feel that was a good episode. Happy Halloween, everybody. Stay safe, eat candy, watch our show, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Happy Halloween. Yeah.